Hello everyone! Today we continue to follow a special love story between Dieuhan, a single mother named Dieuhan, and little Tom. In a world full of hustle and bustle, where time is always tight and people seem caught up in the endless cycle of work, there are still surprisingly beautiful love stories. Dieuhan, a young engineer, is always busy with projects and complex constructions that require intense focus and constant effort. However, from the very first time he met Dieuhan, a strong single mother living deep in the forest with little Tom, a one-year-old boy, Dieuhan's heart changed forever. Since Dieuhan moved here, Dieuhan has never hesitated to work hard alongside her to rebuild that old, dilapidated house made of leaves. Every shovel of dirt, every wooden plank, every leaf carries the mark of Dieuhan's feelings and quiet care. He not only helped Dieuhan with the construction work, but also became a protector, a companion, and a caretaker for little Tom whenever Dieuhan was busy. Despite Dieuhan's busy work schedule, he still quietly watches over, worries about, and helps Dieuhan with the smallest things, from buying milk for Tom to comforting Dieuhan during tiring evenings. His love is neither loud nor showy, but deep and silent, like a falling leaf that makes no sound but still adds color to the autumn season. When he heard that Dieuhan decided to go to the city to look for her birth parents, Dieuhan couldn't remain calm. Even though he knew he couldn't go with her, he never stopped searching for information and worrying about her every day. But fate wasn't easy. He couldn't meet Dieuhan to support her directly. That worry exhausted Dieuhan, causing him restless, sleepless nights, because for him, Dieuhan and Tom were not only people he loved, but also precious pieces of his life. Dieuhan is a young engineer, still very young in age, but has already proven himself early on in the field of construction engineering. Every day, Dieuhan spends most of his time working on projects that demand intense focus and a relentless spirit of progress. He is a responsible person who always completes his tasks excellently, no matter how much pressure he faces. At first, Dieuhan's life was quite lonely, and he barely had time for relationships outside of work. His job was like a whirlwind that swept him away, causing him to forget the peaceful moments in life. However, everything began to change from the day he met Dieuhan. Dieuhan is a young woman living simply in a small house deep in the forest. She is a single mother, raising little Tom, who is just 1 year old, all by herself. Dieuhan's life has faced many hardships. Unlike many others, she has no place to turn to, no family support, only the love she has for her child as her emotional anchor. Dieuhan and Tom's house stands isolated in a quiet forest. It is built from simple materials, mainly leaves and old wooden planks. Nevertheless, it is their only home, a place into which Dieuhan has poured immense effort and hope. Every day she confronts many challenges from nature and poverty, but has never let those difficulties break her spirit. In the early days, the dilapidated leaf house worried Dieuhan, but Dieuhan did not let her feel alone. Using his youthful strength and skill, he gradually improved the house. Every leaf and plank was carefully repaired and reinforced by him. Every afternoon after work, Dieuhan would come to be with Dieuhan and Tom, sharing simple stories, creating a silent bond. Although Dieuhan was very busy with work, he never let his job overshadow his responsibilities and feelings toward Dieuhan and Tom. He always thoughtfully checked on and helped Dieuhan with daily chores and constantly worried about little Tom's health. On quiet evenings, when the small house was still, Dieuhan would sit beside Dieuhan, listening to her secret worries and sharing the feelings she found hard to express. Than's kindness and attentiveness were not just actions, but heartfelt confessions. That affection gradually became a warm flame, dispelling the coldness of life and bringing hope and faith to Han and little Tom. To Than, Han and Tom were not only loved ones, but also a source of life and motivation that helped him overcome every hardship. His love was neither flashy nor loud, but deep and enduring like an instrumental melody playing in his heart day and night. Not only did Than provide material help, but he was also a protector, always concerned for Han and Tom's health and safety. When Han was sick, he didn't hesitate to leave work to take care of her. On trips to the market for food or medicine, Than always accompanied her, carefully attending to every little detail. Life deep in the forest was simple, but full of challenges. Sometimes, on stormy nights with heavy rain battering the house, Han worried whether she could keep Tom warm. Than was always there in time to help patch the roof or hang tarps to block the rain and wind. He understood that for Han, that house was not just shelter, but a symbol of life, a precious gift for little Tom. Together they overcame hard times, building not only a house but also sweet memories and warm feelings. With each passing day, Than realized how deeply attached he was to Han and Tom, not just as friends, but with a special kind of love strong enough to change him, making him more patient, caring, and full of affection. When Han decided to go to the city to find her birth parents, a journey full of hardships and challenges, a strong flame ignited in Than's heart. For the first time, he felt a deep worry like never before, knowing that she would enter a completely unfamiliar, complicated world full of dangers. The city, with its crowded streets and bustling crowds, not only made Han, a single mother with a small child in her arms, feel lonely, but also caused Than restless nights. Although Than himself was always busy with his engineering work, he couldn't sit still when thinking about the safety of Han and Tom. He decided not to hesitate, not to let geographical distance and work pressure stop him. Than arranged his work, took temporary leave, prepared his belongings, and followed her trail to the city with a mix of anxiety and determination. Stepping into the city, Than felt like he had entered a narrow maze filled with countless hurried people. The tall buildings, the long lines of vehicles, and the bright city lights overwhelmed him. But in his heart, there was only one goal: to find Han and Tom and bring them back safely. Day after day, Than walked through neighborhoods, asking around, searching for the smallest clues about Han's whereabouts. He visited places she might have been, from small markets, simple eateries to bus stops and train stations. Every time a glimmer of hope arose, his heart would beat fiercely. But many times, he was disappointed when the information turned out to be false or insufficient to lead him to her. Fear relentlessly haunted Than. Would Han encounter any dangers in the complicated urban world? Would little Tom be taken care of properly? He knew he couldn't let them face this world alone. That's why, despite exhaustion, pressure, and long days struggling in the city, he never gave up. However, the truth was, after many sleepless days and nights searching, Than still hadn't caught a glimpse of Han's familiar figure. After many days and nights wandering through crowded city streets, with a heart heavy full of worries and relentless thoughts, Than finally could no longer bear the overwhelming pressure. Sitting in his personal car on a quiet road amidst the bustling city, he leaned back in his seat, his mind spinning and his eyes starting to blur. Exhausted both physically and mentally from his relentless efforts, Tan no longer had the strength to drive or continue the search, even though his heart still burned with the hope of seeing Dieuhan and little Tom again. Fortunately, Hui, Tan's dedicated manager, noticed his unanswered calls and unusual messages in time. Hui immediately came to pick him up and took him to his own home to rest and recover. With attentive care, Tan gradually regained his strength, eating well and resting properly, temporarily putting aside the pressures of work and his search journey. Waking up from a deep sleep, Tan still couldn't hide the fatigue on his face, but his eyes shone with an unshakable determination. He knew that no matter how many difficulties piled up, no matter how long and arduous the journey ahead was, he would never give up. Ta Yi silently promised himself that he would continue to find Dieuhan, the special woman who had captured his heart, and little Tom, whom he had come to regard as his own child. That determination burned within him like a fierce flame, urging Tan to rise and continue the challenging journey ahead with all the perseverance and sincere love he had. He knew that this special bond was not just a temporary attachment, but a promise, a responsibility. He was ready to embrace for life. The small house in the forest still awaited their footsteps to return, still holding the warmth of family love and unforgettable memories. Despite the storms life might bring, Tan believed that with love and perseverance, all obstacles could be overcome. Standing at the threshold of a new chapter, he was ready to continue the journey of searching and building the dream home with Dieuhan and little Tom. For Tan, they were not only loved ones, but also the reason that made him stronger every day. Their story was far from over. Every new day was a page unfolding with countless wonders, new challenges and opportunities for love to blossom and bear fruit. No matter what the future held, Dieuhan would always be there, persistent, caring, and passionate, continuing to write the next chapters of the life they had begun together.